Hello, this is Dr. Dave Maslak talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3. And in this particular video, I want to talk about what makes a great PhD student in management. So if you don't know, I'm actually a professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And I put out these are my thesis help series videos where I just try to be as helpful as I possibly can for people that are interested in going to research, thinking of becoming a PhD. Maybe it is thinking they are doing a master's program and they want to get in and understand what it is to take to become a PhD or do research and stuff. So I thought I'd be as helpful as I possibly can. And so with that, I'm just going to jump right into this. And I have actually 5 different factors that I think are very incredibly important if you're thinking of doing a PhD and you want to become a successful PhD student. And in this, I'm going to specifically focus on PhD students in management. Doesn't necessarily matter if it's in management or not. It's just kind of the field I know, but these are pretty generic in terms of what is required. And I think they're pretty universal across all PhD programs. So the first one is you have to be intimately interested in a specific topic. You're going to do a tremendous amount of work, and there is going to be a lot of downs, probably a lot more downs than there are with ups in terms of the work that you have to do. So you just have to be very interested in one specific thing. And you're not going to know when you start a PhD program, by the way, you're highly unlikely to know the thing that you are going to be interested in. It usually takes a little bit of time to figure that out. But once you get interested in that thing, you got to be able to be interested in it for a while. So if you can get interested in something for a very long time, and you're not that kind of person that kind of moves from place to place and things, that's probably a very good thing for you to, or a PhD is a very good thing for you to think about, because you have to be very focused in a specific area. It's not to say if you're, that kind of person that gets distracted and stuff like that and go into different directions, that's not useful. You just have to know how to leverage that, to know that you have to keep coming back to something that you're interested in, whether it's research methods or statistics or, a specific theoretical lens or something like that. That's important. The second thing, and you can kind of see what I'm suggesting here, is that there's a tremendous amount of persistence or perseverance that you have to do in order to succeed in this career, right? So some people are going to be exceptionally lucky at the beginning, and they're going to have whatever it takes for everything to sort of fall together and for it to work very early on. This is general of all research and development, by the way. This is not unusual. So some people, some companies, whatever, are going to be very lucky at the beginning, and they're going to have everything. It's just going to go their way. They're very successful with what they're doing, and then they're going to get, a certain amount of fame or whatnot at the beginning, right? But if you are like everybody else, 95% of the population that is doing a PhD or thinking of going into doing a PhD, you are going to have to just do a long, slow grind. And by the time you actually get any sort of recognition for what you're doing, it's probably going to be 20, 25 years out. And at that point, then you might start getting a little bit of recognition. So you just have to have that long-term sort of marathon pace of thinking, it's going to take me a long time to accomplish this particular thing going forward. And that is totally normal. You are the norm if you're that person that has to grind away and just keep working at something. The exceptional person is the one that sort of that just whatever, right? They had the right combination. Maybe they went to the right schools, for example. They had the sort of right characteristics. Their research kind of worked out. They were very fortunate, and they found something that was really interesting and novel very quickly, and they became, they got sort of worldwide fame from that. But most times it's going to take a long time, and you're going to have that personality that could just stick with something for 20, 25 years, right? And that's normal. The third thing that I think is incredibly important, and it's helped me out personally. So a lot of these characteristics are things that have helped me out, and this video is as much for me as it is for you. So the third thing is ingenuity. And so what often happens is you're riding along and there is a roadblock that comes up, or maybe you're working in the lab and some sort of roadblock comes up. Absolutely normal. You have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do to navigate around this particular roadblock? Nobody else has done this before. You're the only one that has done that particular thing. So you have to figure out how to actually navigate that issue. And so often what you'll get is you might send a paper in to a reviewer, and the reviewer is going to say, you know what, this is garbage. I don't believe it, but maybe if you did X, Y, and Z, or that would be a very helpful reviewer, but generally they'll just say this is garbage. And then you have to respond to that and figure out a way to address that particular issue, right? That they have that distrust in what you're doing. The fourth thing that I think is incredibly important, and I learned this kind of like the School of Hard Knocks way, is the idea of humility and deference to others. So this career, there is a lot of opportunities that are given to you from other people. And you don't really understand that until you're a little ways in. And then once you sort of figure that out, you realize that there is a tremendous amount of humility that's involved in this career. And there's reasons for that, right? So you do get opportunities from other people. So realizing that all of these opportunities are given to you from other people, I mean, it really makes you humble to a lot of different, a lot of different reasons why. But at the same time, people are trying to help you out as much as you possibly can. So if you can help them out by honoring those people and being very grateful for all of the people that have helped you along the way, which is part of the whole reciprocity project, right? That's why I'm doing this. It's just giving back to others, because there were so many people that helped me. It goes a long ways. It definitely goes a long ways in terms of what's in terms of it just goes a long ways in terms of helping you out with your particular career. And you know what, it's a lot more fun. I've realized it's a lot more fun to give back to others or to be very thankful for others than just simply say, it was all you. And that's not the case at all. There's so much along the way that you got to acknowledge, right? And the fifth thing that I think is incredibly important in terms of factors to make a great PhD student in management or whatever you're studying is just being able to deal with a lot of uncertainty. So this is the thing that probably gets most people when they're doing their PhD. It is not a lot of all these other factors. It's the fact that a lot of people just can't deal with the uncertainty with it all. It kind of eats you up and you kind of get very stressed out about it. So in the field that I study, in the behavioral field, that there actually is some old research around this area in terms of most people avoid uncertainty. They don't really like uncertainty. And research is one of those things where you actually have to jump in and embrace that uncertainty. You don't know if you're doing anything as correct. You don't know what other people sort of think of what you're doing, and that's an important thing with research. If you didn't know that, they have to acknowledge that you're doing interesting and important work. You just don't know a lot of different things, and it does kind of eat you up a lot of times, but you have to either embrace that somehow, but that's hard to do, or just kind of sort of partition that from your mind and just keep going forward. And once you do that, you just have to learn how to deal with that uncertainty. And most people have a very hard time with that. And that's probably the biggest reason why people will stop doing a PhD, because they just don't know what's going to happen next. And that's just part of it, right? It's in a lot of ways, very, very entrepreneurial, that you have no idea what's going to happen next. You don't know whether you're going to get tenure. You don't know if your paper is going to get published. There's just a tremendous amount of uncertainty that happens along the way. And those people that can sort of deal with that they're going to be much better off than the people that have a hard time being able to deal with that uncertainty going forward. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Those are the 5 different factors that I think are very important. for being a great PhD student in business or management or strategy, whatever it is that you're studying. Maybe you're studying, some scientific field, chemistry, for example. It doesn't really matter, and it doesn't change. Those are the characteristics or factors that I think are the most important for studying or doing a PhD. So hopefully you like this video. Do give me a thumbs up if you appreciate it, and as well as do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.